Hi everybody, John here from All Miniatures Great and Small, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to have a pre-game show that goes over the armies in a little bit more detail, or spend a little bit more time with our armies. As the battle itself is going to take a while on its own, we wanted to break it up, make it not quite as long, and give you guys an opportunity to see the armies if you want. If you don't care to see the armies in detail, you can go straight to the battle report. The link is down below. What we have here, what you're looking at, is my 2,000 points of Solar Auxilia with Ultramarine Allies. I've been painting the last 2 weeks like crazy to get these Solar Auxilia ready for this battle. Still didn't have 2,000 points, thus the reason we allied in some Ultramarines for the battle today. Now next up we'll look at the individual units, and then you can continue on to the battle at the link below.
Here's the HQ of my army. He is a Lord Marshal, and he has been upgraded with a Archaeotech pistol, Artificer armor, a Displacer matrix, and a Paragon blade. So the neat thing about him is he has 2-up armor from his Artificer armor, and he's going to get a 3-up Displacer matrix. And if I roll a 1 for that invulnerable save, he actually goes into ongoing reserve. He teleports out. So he's going to be very hard to kill, hopefully. So that is my HQ, a Lord Marshal. The other neat thing about him is, as a Lord Marshal, he gets to choose his Warlord trait, either from the Solar Auxilia Warlord traits or from the big book, the 7th edition book. I don't know what Warlord trait I'm going to take yet, as we haven't set up the train or rolled up the mission or anything yet, but we'll let you know what we choose. Alright, next up I have my Auxilia Tactical Command section. It's made up of a Proclamator, a Strategos, and a Vexillarius, that's what it is, as well as a couple of veteran infantry. So this guy has basically a Nuncio Vox. This guy can call in an orbital bombardment. He's cool. He's got telescopes and a typewriter, essential for calling in orbital bombardments. He has a cohort Vexilla, which will help with morale rerolls. And then these two veterans have been upgraded so that they have a grenade launcher and melta gun. So they're as modeled. They are riding in a Dracosan armored transport with a demolisher cannon upgrade, and that's the only upgrade it has. So that is my Auxilia Tactical Command section. And now for troops. For the Solar Auxilia, you have to take what is called a tertio, and they're kind of like platoons for Imperial Guard in 40k. So each tertio has a requirement. So for my first tertio, I am taking a 20-man rifle squad. So these guys have las rifles, and they have an upgraded troop master, this fella here, who has an improved ballistic skill. They have a Nuncio Vox, they've got a Vexilla, and they also have defense lines. So that is my first tertio, made up of the las rifle squad. Alright, for my other infantry tertio, I'm taking a Velataris Storm section. So it's basically like elite stormtroopers or in the Astra Militarum Imperial Guard. So they're ballistic skill 4, and they're toting around Volkites. So I've got 10 of those. And they are riding in a Dracosan armored transport with a demolisher cannon upgrade, as well as a Pintel-mounted multi-laser. So their ride is a little bit fancier than the command squads. So they will be tooling around with that. Their Volkite chargers are pretty powerful. I mean, they are only range 15, but it's strength 5, AP 5, assault 2, and like all Volkites, they have the deflagrate rule, which lets them roll for additional wounds for every unsaved wound. So hopefully those guys will be able to perform, stay in their Dracosan and then pop out at an opportune time and hose something down. So that is my second troops requirement, the Storm squad and their transport. Next up in my elite slots, I've got 2 Auxilia Rapier batteries. They're both upgraded to be quad mortars, so they've got the disgustingly good shatter shells as well as a frag option. I'm not running these as one squad. These will be 2 separate squads with 1 gun each. Next up, we have the Malcador heavy tank. So this is basically a super heavy light. It is upgraded with armored ceramite, has the demolisher cannon upgrade, las cannons, twin-linked las cannons in the fixed turret, siege armor, which increases its front armor to 14, and then las cannon sponsons. So this is a super heavy vehicle. So it follows all the normal super heavy rules. You can't explode it, for example, or anything like that. It only has 6 hit points, but it's kind of jam-packed with weapons. It can move 12 and fire everything at different targets. So I'm hoping to see good things from this tank. Hopefully draw some fire so that my other troops can get the job done. So there you go, the Malcador heavy tank. Alright, so I'm allying in some Ultramarines with my Solar Auxilia, as I don't have 2,000 points of Solar Auxilia painted up yet. So here we have, leading the detachment is a Legion Champion. So he's got the Legion Champion upgrade. He's got Artificer Armor. Even though that looks like a cool sword, it's actually an Ultramarine Legatine Axe. And he's got a Refractor Field as well. Behind him we have a 10-man tactical squad and their Rhino, and they are just vanilla, nothing special or added to them. And then last but not least, we have a unit of 5 Fulmentaris Terminators. These have been upgraded with Cyclone missile launchers, and 4 of the Terminators have Power Fist upgrades, and then the Sergeant is toting a power sword. So that is a big chunk of points, but these guys are scary. Those Cyclone missile launchers put out 2 shots at strength 8, and as long as 5 Terminators are still alive in that unit, they get Tank Hunter. So they're going to be pretty deadly on the field, at least I hope so. So there you go, that is my 2,000 points of Solar Auxilia with Ultramarine Allies. And here we have Jacob's 2,000 points of World Eater Space Marines. These are gorgeous miniatures. Jacob's going to go ahead and describe his units and tell us all what he's bringing today.
So we have Karn the Bloody Captain, and I did upgrade him with Gorechild. And then we have 3 units of 10 World Eater troops. Each has Artificer Armor. One has a Power Fist, and they are riding in a Rhino, and that unit also has Chain Axes. Then we have 3 jet bikes. I've upgraded one to have a multi-melta. So for my elites, I have a Contemptor Mortis Dreadnought with twin-linked assault cannons, or two assault cannons. And then I have 5 Red Butchers with the upgraded Chain Fist on the leader. And then they're going to be riding in a converted Dreadclaw drop pod. This guy is actually a conversion that I pulled off the internet. And you just in it's a normal drop pod kit. You just invert the fins, cut a couple different lines out so you can actually get it to fit smoothly. And I think it actually looks pretty nice. And then for heavy support, I've got 5 support Marines. They all have missile launchers. I have a Sakaran battle tank that's upgraded with sponson las cannons. And then I have a unit of 2 laser destructor array Vindicators, one which has been upgraded to have Power of the Machine Spirit.
So that's pretty much it for the pregame show. We took a close look at the armies. Go ahead and click the link below to go to the battle report itself. and see how these armies fare on the table. Thanks for watching and checking out. As always, please subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up if you like what you saw, and keep on wargaming.